Welcome to Waters World. I'm Jesse Waters. The lying rat falls flat. That's the subject of tonight's Waters Words. Trump's old lawyer, Michael Cohen, convicted liar and tax cheat, about to head to prison for 3 years. But before leaving, he became the Democrats' star witness in stage 1 of their impeachment proceedings. Here's Cohen in his own words.
I have lied, but I am not a liar. And I have done bad things, but I am not a bad man.
Sure you're not. Now, the media won't tell you this, but Cohen systematically destroyed about a dozen left-wing talking points. Let's begin. Under oath. Cohen helped puncture the Russian collusion and obstruction narratives.
Questions have been raised about whether I know of direct evidence that Mr. Trump or his campaign colluded with Russia. I do not. And I want to be clear. Mr. Trump did not directly tell me to lie to Congress.
By the way, if Cohen did have the goods on the president, Mueller would have cut a deal with him, and he wouldn't be facing any prison time at all. He obviously has nothing. Next, he drove a stake through the heart of the Clinton finance dossier. The centerpiece of the dossier was that Trump sent Cohen to Prague to hatch the collusion caper with the Russians. Now, that's a lie.
Have you ever been to Prague?
I've never been to Prague.
Never have.
I've never been to the Czech Republic.
In addition, Cohen said he had no evidence that Trump directed Roger Stone to make contacts with WikiLeaks.
Do you have reason to believe that the president explicitly or implicitly authorized Mr. Stone to make contact with WikiLeaks and to indicate the campaign's interest in the strategic release of these illegally hacked materials?
I'm not aware of that.
So Cohen also said that Stone told Trump in July 2016 that WikiLeaks was about to drop all this dirt on the Democrats. Now, Cohen claims Stone had advanced knowledge, but in fact, Stone knew just about the same time as everybody else knew, because Julian Assange posted on Twitter that he was about to drop something. So there's nothing there. Speaking of nothing there, Cohen destroyed the campaign finance violation allegation against Donald Trump. Remember, Stormy Daniels was paid for her so-called story in the fall of 2016? Now, these things happen when you're as rich and famous as Donald Trump is. You pay for negative allegations to go away to protect your personal and family reputation. Trump would have, had the National Enquirer president David Pecker buy the rights to the other party's stories, catching them and killing them.
I was involved in several of these catch and kill episodes, but these catch and kill scenarios existed between David Pecker and Mr. Trump long before I started working for him in 2007.
Now, this is critical. Trump had been doing this for over a decade. Therefore, the Stormy payment was not a campaign expenditure. It was a personal expenditure, not a crime, because Trump had been doing this for years and would have done it regardless of the campaign. I should be a lawyer, shouldn't I? Cohen also says he has no evidence of Trump ever using the N-word.
I've talked to the president over 300 times. I've not heard one time a racist comment out of his mouth in private. So how do you reconcile it? Do you have proof of those conversations?
I would ask you to
Do you have tape recordings of those conversations?
No, sir.
And Cohen continued to knock down left-wing anti-Trump conspiracy theories.
Do you have any knowledge of President Trump arranging any health care procedures for any women not in his family?
I'm not aware of that, no.
Is there a love child?
There is not, to the best of my knowledge.
In addition to convicted Russian mobster Sater, do you know of any other ties to convicted or alleged mobsters President Trump may have?
I am not aware.
So Trump has never paid for an abortion, never had a love child, and never had any mob ties. Got it. Thanks, Michael. It's pretty clear this is a revenge plot by the Clintons to bloody up Trump for 2020. Now, see the guy behind Cohen right there? Lanny Davis. The Clinton fixer is now representing Trump's old fixer. The fix is in. Lanny's probably still getting paid by the Clintons or some fat cat Democrat donor. Cohen and Lanny colluded with Adam Schiff before the hearing and have been leaking to the media like crazy. Now, remember, the Democrats started this hit job with the dossier, then the wiretaps, and then the witch hunt. Cohen is being used, and the millions of people who voted for Donald Trump are being abused. Here with reaction, former Arkansas governor and Fox News contributor Mike Huckabee and CEO of the New Voice, Herman Cain. Mr. Cain, I'll begin with you today.
Yes.
What did you think of my Waters' words?
You could be an attorney, but stick with your day job, okay?
Thank you.
You're much better with your day job.
Thank
Look,
you. I would agree.
Lack of credibility. Pure and simple. Every time the Democrats think they've got a gotcha point on President Trump, there's no there there. What's even sadder, Jesse, is that they continue to spew the same narrative no matter what. They are trying to drive the perception of this president, which is totally different from the results that he's generating, and this was just another example. The Democrats want to try to embarrass this president at all costs. Why else would they hold this hearing at the same time that President Trump is trying to denuclearize the peninsula of Korea and bring world peace? They don't care about any results. They only care about trying to bring down Trump.
Yeah, they don't want protection from Kim. They want protection from a second Trump turn, Governor Huckabee. I mean, just
Yes.
a coincidence that the hearing was on the same day as the summit, right?
Total coincidence, Jesse. They had no idea that it would end up like that.
No.
Look, you know, the thing that's amazing, the Democrats have run out of cheese for this rat to come and eat. And the sad thing is, every time he answered a question, he answered a question that did more to help Donald Trump than to hurt him. One of the first rules a good attorney knows, you never ask a question in open court that you don't already know the answer to. These were guys who really were committing one of the most egregious freshman errors ever in asking questions that they thought were going to be incriminating, and it turns out it was quite the opposite, and it was anything but incriminating.
You're right. It's so funny, the look on their faces when they realize, wait, no love child?
Yeah.
No mob ties? Wait, can you say that again? It was definitely fun to watch. I want to take us to now Kamala Harris, who I think is trying to... she's the anointed one. The media loves her. She's probably going to get the nomination. She has gone so far left. Listen to what she says about prostitution. Roll it.
Do you think that sex work ought to be decriminalized?
I think so. I do. When you're talking about consenting adults, I think that, you know, yes, we should really consider that we can't criminalize consensual behavior.
So, Mr. Cain, legalizing prostitution, the Democratic ticket, that's the platform, I guess, right?
It's one of them, I guess, in her case. Look, Kamala Harris, from the very time she announced that she was a Democrat presidential wannabe, has taken pandering to a whole new level. She's acting, quite frankly, kind of like Hillary Clinton did. Whatever she needs to say about whatever hot issue comes up,
you're right,
she's going to agree with it and pander to them.
You're right.
And I don't think she's going to be a shoo-in for the nomination because she has contradicted herself. She's gone too far to the flaming left. And I wrote a book about 14 years ago, Jesse. It was entitled, They Think We're Stupid. No, we're not. Maybe some of her supporters are stupid, but most of the American people are not stupid, and she is assuming that they are.
Maybe you are right. Maybe she goes so far to the flaming left she gets burned and can never recover and can never ever tack back into the center if she gets the nomination, because now she's on the record. Like Mr. Cain said, I mean, she gets asked these questions. She says, sure. The other day someone asked, do you think you should get rid of Columbus Day and replace it with Indigenous Peoples Day? And she said, sure, that's a great idea. I mean, she's killing herself, Governor.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that Kamala Harris has done is, you know, it's like when I was little, my sister had a doll called Chatty Cathy. You'd pull the string, and it would say stuff. I mean, I think Kamala Harris has now pulled the string, and she'll say anything. And now we know that her basic platform is she's for unrestricted abortion, open borders, for legalized pot and prostitution. And, you know, she wants to defy, get rid of ICE. And she goes through all these things, and you're thinking, I'm not sure if she wants to be president or if she wants to be a professor at Berkeley.
Right. That wasn't your doll. You're just saying it was your sister's. That it was definitely your sister's.
I want to make that very, very clear. It was my sister's. Yes.
Okay.
This was long
also,
before the days
okay,
when
I'm glad
those
we
things
cleared
would have
that
happened.
up. Also, Kamala really going hard after the president said some pretty vicious things. Let's listen to that.
You call bigotry what it is. You call racism what it is. You call violence what it is.
Is President Trump a racist?
Well, look, when you talk about his statement on that, when you talk about him calling African countries S-hole countries, when you talk about him referring to immigrants as rapists and murderers, I don't think you can reach any other conclusion.
No, Herman, this really bothers me because if she does get the nomination, she's going to have to, on the debate stage, walk up to the president, shake his hand, and exchange pleasantries. If she thinks he's a racist, how is she going to do that?
She's going to try and backpedal, and she's going to try and blur the issue. Every time she or anyone else calls the president a racist, they are basically trying to feed what I call the perception of this president without looking at the reality. Let me just sum it up this way. I know President Trump. If he is a racist, then I'm white and Governor Huckabee is black. Now, you try to rationalize that. That's how much I feel he is not a racist, okay?
Well, the
Governor Huckabee is still white and I'm still black. But if he's a racist, we're going to switch colors.
The governor's got a great tan, but I don't think that makes him black.
Hey, Jesse, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
When did Donald Trump become a racist? I mean, for decades, he was the toast of town in the most diverse city in the entire world, New York City.
Yep.
Everyone wanted their picture made with him.
Yep.
They all wanted to hang out with him. So when did he become a racist? The man is 72 years old. Most people don't suddenly change their entire life-long philosophy at the age of 72. I'd like for someone to tell me the moment in time at which he suddenly switched from being this guy that everyone of every race loved and wanted to hang out with to being a racist. Tell me when that happened,
well,
and if you can't, you really don't have anything to
I think in the
pin on
Democrats'
him.
mind, it happened when he came down the escalator that summer in 2015. Let's get from black and white to green. The Green New Deal, according to the number crunchers, will cost, are you ready, almost $100 million, trillion dollars. $93 trillion. Now, Herman Cain, the 999 plan can't even get that much revenue.
No. That number that they estimate the Green New Deal is going to cost is 4.5 times or more the size of our gross domestic product. It does not make any sense.
Right.
Remember the book I wrote, They Think We're Stupid. And they must have a lot of stupid supporters out there who are getting all excited about this Green New Deal.
And they don't care, Governor, how much it costs. They just say, you know what? It's an investment. That's the new lingo. It's an investment.
Well, and why would we care? I mean, after 12 years, we're all going to be burned up anyway, so it really won't matter. But here's my question. If they need to cover that $93 trillion, I'm going to just go ahead and be generous. I'm going to write them a check. Now, I won't be able to cover the whole amount, but I'm going to put something on it, and I'm going to post-date the check for 12 years from now, just in case they need it.
Very smart.
I have one other request, Jesse. When we go bankrupt and the planet burns up, can I please have a hamburger that won't be around that Ocasio-Cortez says that we need to get rid of it?
Well,
Let
you know,
me
she
go
just
out with a
got
hamburger
photographed
in my hand.
She just got photographed eating a hamburger somewhere.
Yes.
And she was embarrassed about it because I guess according to the Green New Deal, you got to get rid of the cows, you know? We got to go green.
Yep.
Hey, forget the hamburger. Give me a ribeye and some bacon-wrapped shrimp. I'll take that any day over the burger.
Man, you're killing the earth, Governor. You are killing the earth with all that bacon and the steak. Lastly, and this is just on a more serious note, but I think it's important to cover. Earlier this week, they had a vote in the Senate on banning partial birth abortion. Some people call it infanticide. You deliver the baby, and the baby is terminated on the table. No coverage at all. Look at Tuesday's coverage. The networks totally spiked this thing. 0 minutes from ABC, 0 from CBS, 0 from NBC. This was a vote the Democrats were against, and they're all on record as supporting now partial birth abortion, and the mainstream media ran a protection ring around them. Governor, what do you think?
Well, this is worse than infanticide. I mean, this is actually murder of a child that has already been delivered. And that's what I think a lot of people don't understand. And one of the senators said, well, the reason I didn't vote for it was because it offends women's reproductive health. Look, at this point, the woman has already reproduced. The baby is out of her womb. It's no longer a part of her. It's not an abortion. This is a child laying on a table 15 feet from her, and instead of the doctor doing what he can to save this attempted abortion of a baby, he actually goes in and actively kills the baby after it's been born alive. And when Democrats can't vote for something that would protect a crying baby, then they are the party of the Canaanites of ancient days, and they ought to be turned away forever.
Yeah.
Just disgusting.
Mr. Kane, 53-44 in the Senate. Looks like a few abstained, but party line votes. Pretty sad day in America for that.
It's a pretty sad day. I agree with Governor Huckabee. It's murder, pure and simple. And if you ever wondered, not that we wondered, that the media outlets that you named were not in the tank with Democrats, there's no clearer evidence than them not reporting on the murder of babies. It's pure and clear as crystal day.
All right. Gentlemen, thanks for joining Water's World, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Jesse.
Great to be with you.
Up next, a woman calls the police because a dog humped her dog at a dog park. I'm not kidding. Wait till you see it, and later. Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un patched things up after the second summit. The notorious the idea of running for president in 2020, saying he plans to make an announcement soon. But is Biden already caving to the resistance? He recently said this about Vice President Pence.
The fact of the matter is, it was followed on by a guy who's a decent guy, our vice president.
Just hours later, he backtracked, tweeting this. There is nothing decent about being anti-LGBTQ rights, and that includes the vice president. Joining me now, political columnist Cathy Aru and former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski. Ladies first. I'm sorry, Corey. Cathy, can't Biden just say he's a decent guy and just let it go? Why does he have to pander and cater because some nitwit radical resistor on Twitter gives him a hard time?
He did not have to apologize, but he did because that person represented a community, the LGBT community, and he wants those voters. So if he wants those voters,
LGBTQ, do not forget the Q.
QIA. So actually it's usually LGBTQ plus. So there's many ways to do it. I don't want to offend. But yeah, so
Corey's
he
very
offended them. Yeah, he offended members of that group, not everyone. So it can't be said that Democrats are insane. There are certain people that were offended, and they have the right to be offended.
I understand that, but Corey, Biden has done this before. Remember, he's like, I'm going to take President Trump behind the schoolhouse and knock him out, and then he had to apologize 24 hours later. You know, I shouldn't have used such violent rhetoric. I mean, just own it. I mean, right? Isn't that what people want?
Look, Jesse, you know what people love about Trump is he's a fighter. They fight for him. What people are so sick and tired of is the political correctness that all these people think they have to please everybody, and so they please nobody.
Right.
To go and say something bad about Vice President Mike Pence is actually insane, because I say it all the time. He's too nice of a person to be in politics. I mean, that's how great Mike Pence is. He's the nicest human being and the nicest family, and the religious values that he holds dear should be celebrated and not chastised.
Yeah, I mean, he like won't even be in the room without his wife there if there's another woman. I mean, the guy is as pure as the wind-driven snow, just like you, Corey.
Jesse, they say that about us a lot.
Yeah.
You and I have the same thing that they say about us.
So much in common. So much in common.
Yes.
I want to move to Beto. He's also considering getting in. Cathy, I used to think Beto had a real shot at this, and now I think he's weird. He went on some sort of poetry tour in a bus like Kerouac and started writing dark, strange things about finding himself. I don't really get that. He moves his hands around a lot like he's on speed. Break him down for us.
break him down. Well, I think he went to a Metallica concert after he announced that he was going to run for president, but he energizes the base. People like him. So he has a shot. He really does have a shot, according to many sources.
I mean, he does poll well, Corey. If you look at some of the polls, he's like top 3 or 4 in most of them.
Jesse, the real deal is the guy's first name is Robert. So I think he's offended the Irish Catholic vote, which is Robert O'Rourke is who this guy's real name is.
Oh, there goes the Irish vote.
I'm offended because I'm part Irish that he won't represent us as he runs for office. His name is Robert O'Rourke. That's like calling me Juan Lewandowski. That's not his name.
Can you explain how you get from Robert to Beto? I don't even get that.
No! It doesn't, look, it doesn't exist. My mother gave me the name Corey. She didn't give me Juan. I'm part Irish. He has offended every Irish Catholic out there by changing his name to Beto.
I guess Beto is short for Robert. I don't know. We're going to give him a pass because maybe it's an El Paso thing. Let's go and talk about something that really grabbed my attention. So there's this woman at a dog park, and she's got her dog there, and there's other dogs around. Some other dog starts humping her dog. She calls the cops. Watch.
Why are you calling the cops right now? Because I told you I wasn't leaving the park because my dog was humping your dog. I'm not verbally assaulting you. I told you I'm not leaving. Look at that assault, guys. Oh, my God, he's assaulting my dog. Let me call the cops. I love when you can call the cops on people just because a dog humped your dog. No, you know what it is? Because I'm black, so she decided to call the cops real first. Let me call the cops. I bet if I was white, you wouldn't have called cops.
And the race card got thrown in there at the end. Kathy, this culture is going down the tubes, calling the police because a dog gets a little frisky in the park. Come on. You're not going to defend this woman, are you?
I'm not going to defend her, even though dog parks do have rules, and I don't think humping is one of the rules.
Do they, wait, do they say that, like no humping at the dog park sign?
Well, I mean, some people consider that. You can't have aggressive dogs at a dog park. There are dog park rules. So his dog was perhaps breaking a rule, and the police said no call is too small. So apparently people always call 911, not always, but a lot of people call 911. They're used to it. So
I mean,
she
getting
a
cat out of a tree is more of an important idea than this, Corey. I mean, aggressive because he got a little playful.
Look, maybe the dog was happy about it. Maybe she should get a different pet. Maybe she should get an emu or a giraffe that can't be mounted the same way. I mean, this is insanity. Talk about a waste of valuable resources, taking the police to come because their dog had some action. Their dog's begging for the action.
People do this.
There's real crimes out there. There's real crimes.
The dog had a sign, open for business. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you need consent now in order for dogs to get together. Lastly, also this culture is getting a little interesting. I've never seen anything like this before. You have transgendered women running against kind of people that were born as women, and they're smoking them because they have testosterone. And people are getting upset about this. And now also we have women want to be in the same wrestling divisions as men, and men are saying, are you kidding me? Listen to this guy.
I just don't think that's really appropriate with a young lady. And it's also so aggressive and just, I'm not really, I guess, comfortable.
Okay, so what's the move, Kathy? If a girl wants to wrestle a boy in high school, that's okay?
Well, yeah, Title IX says it's okay. So Title IX allows anyone from any gender, sex, to play in sports, so to participate. So
yeah, here's my opinion, Corey. This is what I would do. I would bail out of the match, not because I think it's wrong. I'd be afraid to lose to the girl, and then I'd
Jesse, I understand.
I'd never live that down.
I understand what your high school career was like. Yes, I understand that. But look, Title IX is about equity. It means the women should have the same opportunities as the men do, in equal playing field. If they want to play one sport, they play the same way. That doesn't mean there's inter-party, men play the women and the women play the men at the same time. Title IX was designed so that women's sporting engagements had the same funding levels.
You know what
the
they
same
need?
Facilities.
They need Title IX at the dog park. That'll solve all problems.
Yes,
All
that's
right?
what happened.
Corey,
Yes.
Kathy,
And a
thank
bigger
you guys very much. All right, Cory Booker humiliated.
Live from America's News headquarters, I'm Aisha Hasni. The Sacramento District Attorney announcing today that 2 Sacramento police officers who shot and killed an unarmed black man last year will not face criminal charges. The DA saying that the use of lethal force in the death of 22-year-old Stephon Clark was lawful. The officers have said they believe Clark, a vandalism suspect, had a gun, but investigators only found a cell phone. A major winter storm bringing heavy snow from California all the way to New England this weekend, creating travel delays and flight cancellations. Some areas get up to a foot of snow, and more winter weather is on the way. Another storm is moving across the country right now, set to bring heavy snow and rain. The worst of it expected in the Northeast region Sunday night into Monday morning. I'm Aisha Hasni, now back to Watters World.
The Democrats have been warning that Trump will spark a civil war in America. But it looks like he sparks one in the Democratic Party. Leading the way, none other than freshman firebrand Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez scolded fellow Democrats after some moderates voted with Republicans on a bill that said ICE must be contacted when illegal aliens try buying guns. She didn't like that. AOC says she's going to make a list of Democrats who vote with Republicans now so they can be primary next election. Joining me now, former Congressman and Fox News contributor Jason Chaffetz. So, Jason, civil war in the Democratic Party, same thing that happened with the Republicans. Remember the Tea Party? Yeah. Now we just get to sit back and enjoy.
Look, I was on the front end of the Tea Party, and there were a lot of people that complained that we were voting on a very conservative platform. But now to see the Democrats out, they're eating their own. And you know what's classic about this?
What?
Roll call vote number 46. You can look it up. AOC, she's the only Democrat to vote with the Republicans.
She is?
She did. She voted against her party. The only
she's going to be on a list. She's going to have to primary herself.
She better check that list twice because she is on the primary list that she created.
Now, think about what the actual vote was about. So if illegal alien scurries across the southern border and then they try to buy a weapon, they want Republicans for ICE to be contacted. Okay, normal, rational, okay?
Yes.
The Democrats don't want ICE to be contacted when an illegal alien tries to buy a firearm. So a bunch of moderate Democrats who are in swing districts said, yeah, we're going to vote with normal people because this is safe and secure. And she doesn't want that. She wants to expand background checks for citizens, but not for illegals.
So remember that bill I told you she didn't vote with the Republicans for? It's because she said she didn't want any money to go to ICE. She wants to see the abolishment of ICE. But it makes common sense, right? You're here illegally. You try to purchase a firearm. Wouldn't you call the authorities that this person is maybe doing something nefarious?
No, that's too mean. It's too mean. They can buy explosives, weapons. Just don't tell anybody.
Put them on a list and let's primary them.
Just put them on a list. Speaking of a list of ingredients that Booker does not know anything about. He's a vegan. I did not know he doesn't drink alcohol either. I don't believe you drink alcohol?
No.
Okay,
I don't.
You know exactly what Booker's going through. He was asked about how to make some drinks. Roll it.
What is in a Manhattan?
Wow. I mean, it's from New York, Manhattan. I have literally, this is going to be, I'm going to live to regret this lack of knowledge. I'm going to have to study some bartender book. I have no idea.
We'll give you an easy one, though. What is in a margarita? You can do this.
We have faith in you.
So a margarita, there's fruit, and there is ice, and there is vodka.
Vodka. Now, it's not vodka.
I didn't know that it's not vodka.
Oh, you're worse than Booker.
The only thing I know about a margarita, isn't that the one they put the salt on it?
Yes.
Okay, so.
But there's tequila in a margarita.
It's all the same to me.
It's all the same to you.
I have no idea.
But I mean, as a politician, I can see not knowing a Manhattan, but a margarita is basic. Do you think Booker gets hurt by something like this, he's not relatable. He's a vegan, and now he doesn't drink alcohol. Can you be a presidential candidate on the Democratic side and survive without that kind of knowledge?
Well, he wants to take it a step further, because not only does he want to go vegan, hey, if you want to do that, go ahead, but he wants to abolish meat. He basically wants to get rid of all the cows. He doesn't like hunting. He thinks the flatulence from cows is like destroying the earth.
He doesn't like hunting either?
No.
Oh, no. How's he going to win Iowa?
Well, how do you eat meat if you don't kill a cow, right? So come on.
I know, and AOC likes meat because she got caught with a hamburger.
I know.
People eating out of both sides of their mouth.
This is part of that $100 trillion effort.
All right, so listen, you don't drink alcohol. Give Cory Booker some advice. As a politician who doesn't drink alcohol, tell him how to handle these things. Because he's watching. You know he's watching.
He always watches Water's World. He always watches Water's World. Go with rum and Coke. If you don't know the ingredients of rum and Coke, then time to hang it up.
Great advice, Congressman.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. The left blames stress for the Smollett hoax. That's right. They're blaming stress. Diamond and Silk are here in studio to blow off some steam about that. And later, Donald Trump and Little Rocket Man impersonators join me.
This is Huntsville.
A woman in deep trouble after she assaulted a Massachusetts man who was wearing a MAGA hat.
See this right here? This is the problem. Ignorant people like this. I'm just trying to sit here and eat a nice meal. Look at it, yeah? You see this? You see this? She just tried to grab my hand in front of 4 officers. Not smart. There she is, getting cuffed. Have a nice night in the cell, Rosie.
Rosie, turned out she was an illegal. And now she faces deportation on top of the assault charge. Diamond and Silk join me now. Ladies, piece of advice. If you're not in the country illegally, don't assault someone.
Absolutely. And you know, that should be considered a hate crime.
That's right.
When you put your hands on somebody and touch their property. Yes. Now, it couldn't have been Diamond and Silk.
No, it couldn't have been.
Especially when we're trying to eat, because you know we love to eat.
That's right.
Do not
don't
touch
interrupt dinner.
Don't first of all, don't do that.
That's a hate crime.
Absolutely.
That's right.
That's a food crime.
That's right.
But some legislation need to be put in place, because this is going too far.
That's right.
People just, they think that they can take off your hat or punch you in the face. It's an absolute no-no. And that should be considered the real hate crime.
God said, if you take off my hat, don't take off my wig too, because then it's going down.
That's right. Don't mess with the hair.
Don't mess with the hair.
A political hate crime. That's what we'll call it.
Absolutely. That's exactly what
Okay. Also in the mix right now, you have people in the media. The Hollywood Reporter actually said that stress caused Jussie Smollett to create this hoax fake crime. He couldn't handle the pressure of Hollywood, so then he just framed 60 million Trump voters. Can you believe the media?
Well, see, what they're trying to do is normalize his behavior, but it's not going to work. Listen, the book needs to be thrown at him, and he needs to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
That's right.
Because that could have ripped our country apart.
Lock him up.
Lock him up. That's right.
Lock him up.
Right.
You guys going to do the chant?
Lock him up. Lock him up. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Throw the cuffs on him. Also, AOC. Now, she said a lot of strange things so far, and it's only been a few months. But this is one of the strangest. Because the environment's going to hell in a handbasket, and we're all going to die in 12 years, she recommends or suggests maybe we shouldn't have kids because kids have an impact on the climate. Watch this.
Our planet is going to face disaster if we don't turn this ship around. And so it's basically like there's scientific consensus that the lives of children are going to be very difficult. And it does lead, I think, young people to have a legitimate question. You know, is it okay to still have children?
Wow, she's against hamburgers and babies.
Yeah. See, but her ideas that she's proposing is going to be stressful on the lives of our children if she don't stop it. Another thing, what if her mother would have said, well, maybe we should have children, and they didn't have her? Some of the things that she say is, to me, is ignorant. And sometimes she just needs to be quiet if she don't have anything good to say. And that may be why she's hip hooray for a party that's okay with killing babies when they come from the wombs. You can go ahead on and kill them.
That explains a whole lot.
Yeah,
sure does, doesn't it?
Yes.
Now, Michael Cohen came out and testified, hours and hours this week. I know you guys are fired up about that. He's a rat. I mean, he's facing 3 years in prison, a rat and a liar. What did you think about this spectacle?
Listen, first of all, Congress, they need to be ashamed of themselves. Because this
Congress has no shame.
Yeah,
they don't feel shame in Congress.
But see, they did this to try to embarrass our president. Another thing is, Michael Cohen is a liar. We've known him since 2015, and I don't know who that is in front of Congress. That's not the man we know.
And what my president do with his money is his business. What Congress do with taxpayers' dollars, that's our business.
And that's what they should be up there talking about.
That's right.
Okay, now I want to talk about money because I've been wanting to talk to you guys about this for quite some time.
Okay.
I am taking credit for discovering Diamond and Silk because I brought Diamond and Silk onto Water's World and then they blew up. Now Diamond and Silk are at CPAC, they are on tour, they're running the world. I want to know, ladies, where is my finder's fee?
You want your finder's fee?
I want a finder's fee.
We're going to have
Can
our
you break
people.
me off a
We're going to
little
have our people to get with your people and they'll work that out.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Up next, Water's World has a summit here in New York. Trump and Chairman Kim, impersonators, are going to explain what happened in Vietnam. Stick around. Leader Kim Jong-un ended abruptly Thursday after Trump walked away from the bad deal. The Water's World wanted to continue the conversation, so we've asked both President Trump and Kim Jong-un to join us now in this exclusive joint interview. Mr. President, I'll begin with you. How is your relationship with Kim?
Well, I do like Kim. I enjoy his company. But you know what? Yesterday it was time to walk away. There's a time in some negotiations you just need to walk. Let him digest what we have.
So, Kim, the president just walked away from the table, wasn't happy with the deal. How'd that make you feel?
I feel completely betrayed. I thought we had a deal. I mean, he told me how much he loved me and how much he's in love with me.
He wrote me beautiful letters, and they're great letters. We fell in love.
And now he just walks away like a lover after a first night out. I feel completely shattered.
Mr. President, do you agree with that characterization?
Well, we are developing quite the bond, and yes, I suppose there is a little bit of love there. And sometimes lovers do have spats. I walked away because he was unwilling to negotiate the way I wanted to.
So apparently the deal broke down because the United States wants to keep the sanctions on, and Chairman Kim says he'll get rid of this big nuclear program, the main testing site, but he wants the sanctions off, and that's what the basis for the disagreement was. Is that correct?
Well,
no, that's not.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a liar. The orange man is a liar, and he's liar, liar, pants on fire. We actually were only asking for.
You are the liar, little rocket man.
Oh, you're the liar, liar. We were actually just going to give up a little bit of what he wants, and then he was supposed to give us just a little bit of relief on the sanctions.
Well, I gave you some stuff, and you didn't really give me very much at all, and I was a little disappointed and upset.
Will there be a third summit?
I hope so. I'm open to it. Although I walked away, I was a little
I'm open to as well. I mean, it's best to talk than have a war, right?
Now, would Dennis Rodman help things move along, Chairman Kim?
Of course. We should organize a basketball match between the USA and North Korea, and yeah, I think that will really improve relations, and maybe, at the same time, they can send over Beyonce and perform in North Korea as well.
Well, Kim, are you going to play basketball?
And Katy Perry, by the way.
What?
Love Katy Perry.
Mr. President, what'd you say?
I was wondering if Kim would like to play basketball. Maybe a little one-on-one would be more appropriate.
Well,
as you know,
why not?
Probably.
I'm sure the world would love to see our fat asses on the court.
Okay. Okay. Well, this interview was a disaster. Kind of like the actual second summit in Hanoi. But, gentlemen, thank you very much. Up next, last call.